Hello everybody, my name is Susanne and I nail the Goodreads challenges every year, or at least the last 3 years. So this video is gonna be very short. It's gonna detail very roughly how my reading life has progressed as I grew older, and then I'm gonna go through the last 3 years of Goodreads challenges. I started reading when I was introduced to Harry Potter in 3rd grade, and then I just read all of the fantasy books I could get my hands on. It was mostly young adult, but also a bit adult fiction. Again, just what I could get my hands on, which was mostly what was in the Danish libraries, so it was kind of limited. But then I discovered fanfiction in 6th grade, and I gradually went from traditional books to just fanfiction, mostly dreary because, let's be honest, Draco and Harry's love. I read only fanfiction for the next few years until in 2012. I think I was introduced to Goodreads and later BookTube, and that's when I really started reading traditional books again, because through Goodreads there was a bigger selection of books, especially fantasy books, than there were in the libraries and bookstores in Denmark, so I could find them on Goodreads and then I could buy them online. BookTube kind of got me enthusiastic about reading again, and it was really great. So since discovering that, I've been reading a lot of books. 2013 was the first year I participated in a Goodreads challenge, and I set my book count for 230 books, and I completed the challenge pretty easily. I got up over, I think actually over 250 books. But if you look at my Goodreads challenge now, it says that I didn't complete it because of rereads. I really like rereading the books. Like I said, I read more than 200 books a year, and it gets really exhausting sometimes to have to be introduced to a new world and new characters and have to care about it. Sometimes I just need something familiar, so I reread a lot of the books I read. If you don't know, when you reread a book on Goodreads, it removes the book from that year when you first read it to the year when you're reading it now, which is why it says that I haven't completed my challenge. But I did. Don't trust Goodreads. So last year I wanted to challenge myself, so I set the challenge for 300 books, and I barely completed it. When I got to December, I was really behind. I think I needed 15 books for the last 2 weeks. I mean, it was Christmas, so I didn't really have all that much time to read. So I started to read comic books and mangas and all that. And it felt like cheating to me, because as someone who reads that quickly, I should be able to read actual books. Like, I know they count, but they're so quick that it feels weird that one book that can read in an hour counts as much as a book that it takes me like 2 days to read. And again, because of rereads, Goodreads says that I didn't complete my challenge that year, and I hate it. Goodreads, you need to fix this immediately. This year I wanted to focus on something else than reading. I mean, 250 to 300 books a year, that's a lot, and it takes a lot of time, and obviously I enjoy reading. It's how I relax, and that's how I wind down after a long hard day. But I had all the things I wanted to do, so I set my challenge to 100 books, and I completed it in May or something. It was pretty easy. Also, I wanted to do NaNoWriMo this year, so that's part of the reason why I kind of said 100 books, so I could do NaNoWriMo. I didn't really read a lot these last few months. I think it was around 8 books each month until I'm not completely sure. It might be more, might be less, which is very, very little for me. I usually read 20 to 25 books a month, especially in November because of NaNoWriMo and bachelor's project and all of that. I just haven't had the time or the energy to do any reading at all. But maybe next year I'll do 200 books or something. I might challenge myself again. Depends. I haven't really thought about how my next year is gonna be. I'm gonna be gearing up for writing a PhD sometime in the future, so I might focus on preparing for that instead of reading. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, that's it for me. Thank you all for watching, and let me know down below whether or not you're participating in the Goodreads challenges, and if so, how many books are you reading, and have you completed your challenge so far? Are you behind? Whatever, tell me about it down below. I'll see you next time. Bye!